I'm gonna start this episode off with an apology. Uh, Mainly to our loyal viewer, listener, I should say. Uh, Jason, who I just recently found out has been watching all the movies we cover on this podcast. And while this episode may not be a problem, I fear that last episode might have been, and he's been vocal that Beatles month has been very hard on him and I fear for what Fred might do to him. So I do want to apologize to Jason for causing him so much pain, but the pain will keep on coming.
Notably not apologizing to me, your co-host,
No,
and all the anguish I expressed on that.
you signed up for this. Jason did not.
Fair, but
I guess Jason in a way is signing up for this by actively choosing to watch all these
yeah,
movies, but
you
still.
don't have to. Nobody out there listening has to watch all of these. If you want to skip one and still listen to the episode, you're more than welcome. I do it all the time with other podcasts I listen to. This is
I thought you
uh
were saying you do it all the time. You just skip movies we're watching.
I mean, you can't prove that I have.
I mean, I feel like you wouldn't be able to talk as long about some of these if you hadn't actually seen them.
You never know. But this one I did watch. This one I can at the very least say for sure I did watch. Took some searching a little bit because it's on YouTube in a few different uploads, but they're mostly in bad quality or in bad quality and cropped or in okay quality and German. So I had to do some digging, but I found it somewhere online in much better video quality than all of those. I thought for a while I had this movie on DVD because it's on my letterbox list of movies I own. And I think what I ended up realizing was on the Blu-ray release I have of Mr. Topaz on the back under like extra features, it says so and so something and an essay by the author of The Life and Death of Peter Sellers. So I guess
Uh,
whenever I got that, I must have looked at that and just not read too carefully and been like, oh, this also has The Life and Death of Peter Sellers on it as like a bonus. But it doesn't. I don't own this movie. But we did watch it somewhere, even though it's not super available.
the website, by the way, is ok.ru, which is a great site to find any movie.
Yes, it's and they're not gonna come for us. The of the like five people that listen to this, no one is going to report us to whatever
Like th this
piracy.
doesn't matter.
No, we don't matter. We're nothing. Much like Peter Sellers felt about himself and his uh artistic output or whatever.
Give us the rundown, Gordon. We actually a televised TV movie story. That's the podcast. Now give us the rundown.
When do we ever consistently do an intro like that where we say the name of the podcast? I'm Gordon
I
McNulty.
I like to say the names of things. Hi, I'm Eliza.
Hi. So let's do the rundown. Kind of a lot to go through here in the lead up, but we are
So many
talking
cast members.
cast members and release and all that. We're talking about The Life and Death of Peter Sellers from 2004, directed by Stephen Hopkins, written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, based on the book by Roger Lewis. This was their first screenplay. They would go on to do a few other like uh, uh, standalone projects. They wrote the Narnia movies, and they've written a lot of Marvel, including the upcoming Avengers Doomsday.
Wow.
They are on that in as much as that movie has a functioning script currently. Isn't that still being written like as it's being shot? Like currently, right
Yeah,
now, they're
probably.
still writing it. Uh, but yeah, interesting screenwriting duo there. There was something else actually that they did that was separate from those franchises that was interesting. Let me pull up what that was. Oh, they did Pain and Gain and The Electric State and The Gray Man. So they haven't written a movie non Russo brothers since Pain and Gain and Thor: The Dark World in 2013. everything else they've done since then has been directed by the Russo brothers. So good for them, I guess.
I mean, making money.
Yeah, I mean they're certainly doing that. The movie stars Jeffrey Rush, Charlize Theron, John Lithgow, Miriam Margolyes, Stephen Fry, Henry Goodman, Steve Pemberton, Sonia Aquino, Alison Steadman, Edward Tudor Pole, Peter Vaughn, with Stanley Tucci and Emily Watson. You also, in bit parts, have some notable faces like Heidi Klum, Lucy Punch, Richard Ayoade. The movie premiered not on TV. Did you see this? See
No.
where this movie premiered? The movie premiered May 21st, 2004 at the Cannes Film Festival in
Ooh,
competition. This was the Cannes competition where the Palm went to Fahrenheit 9/11.
that's right.
Other movies that played the festival: Shrek 2, The Lady Killers remake, Ghost in the Shell 2, and then some actual movies like Old Boy and The Motorcycle Diaries and Tropical Malady and 2046, and movies by Assayas and Correada and Hong Sang-soo and Lucretia Martel and Paolo Sorrentino, and like actual filmmakers and films. But it did list on IMDb, the like first few it listed were Shrek 2, The Lady Killers, this movie, and Ghost in the Shell 2. So did not seem at first to be the most promising Cannes lineup. Kind of surprised Quentin Tarantino, jury president, didn't vouch for this movie more when you do have a scene of Peter Sellers singing directly into Britt Eklund's Barefoot, which is his two favorite things: bare feet and old Hollywood actresses that he can like be weird about.
I
Uh,
do also like that the Lady Killers remake was at the same can.
yes, yeah. And it won a special, like a not the Grand Prix, but a special pretty. They handed out two, one to Irma P. Hall for her performance in that movie, and one to oh god, was it Cordeada? No, it might have been. I don't remember, but they handed out one to her for her performance and one to some filmmaker. Might have been Where's Seth Cool, actually. I don't know. Um, a quote from the Wikipedia page here for the movie. Although intended as a television production, the film was given a limited theatrical release in the UK. It was also theatrically released in a number of other countries, including Spain, Italy, Iceland, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia. The film achieved its highest theatrical success in Australia, earning over $1 million US at the box office. So it's a TV movie here, but in the rest of the world, it's just a regular old movie.
Nice.
Uh, but to speak to that TV release, it's broadcast on HBO December 5th, 2004. Other things airing at the same time on ABC, you had a TV movie of the five people you meet in heaven. On CBS, you had a TV movie called A Very Married Christmas with Joe Mantegna, Gene Smart, and Charles Durning. On Discovery, you had Mythbusters. On Lifetime, you had a hospital show called Strong Medicine. On MTV, you had Pimp My Ride, You've Got a Friend, which was another Ashton Kutcher prank show that aired or premiered the same season as Punked, where they hired improv comedians to pretend to be someone's obnoxious friend for a day, to be like, hey, pretend to be this guy's new friend and see how much you can annoy them over a day. And then also a Bam Margera spinoff, Viva La Bam.
Mm.
On NBC, you had a broadcast of the Nick Cage movie, The Family Man. And on Fox, you had a reality competition show, My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss, which I know about from another podcast I listened to, talked about it once, which was a one season sort of like parody of The Apprentice, where you had these contestants thinking they were competing in a real, like, apprentice style competition show, but really it was all just for sham and seems stupid. But yeah, that's what you had broadcasting opposite this movie, uh, which I mean, it's HBO, so I don't have any like numbers for how many viewers it pulled, but like it was popular enough to. I mean, we'll talk about the Emmys later, but it was certainly very popular there.
Hmm.
This was a notable TV movie of the year. And should we just jump into the movie, talk about it?
Yeah. Uh, but where do we even want to begin?
Well, I think it's important. to mention that even though this is a movie about Peter Sellers being a difficult person to work with, at least he was a good husband.
Mm, eh,
Sorry, I'm getting reports. Okay, hard to work with, bad husband. At least he was a good father. Sorry,
eh,
I'm getting reports. Hard to work with, bad husband, bad father. At least Jeffrey Rush is okay.
at
Sorry,
least
I'm getting.
hold on. Jeffrey, I thought Jeffrey Rush was really
Oh
great in
no,
this.
I mean okay as I meant like as a person.
Oh, okay.
No,
My
good,
bad, my
very
bad.
very good performance. It's a really like this movie is anchored entirely by Jeffrey Rush doing a really good job as Peter Sellers and as Peter Sellers at all
Hmm.
because he you have those asides and also just like he when he gets into character as Clouseau or Strangelove or any of the others that are like
Yeah,
more
the fourth wall breaks and
cameos.
everything.
Yes, yeah, it's a very uh, uh I mean it's not a subtle performance by any means, but you're playing Peter Sellers, you don't want to go subtle.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think he does a really solid job with the mannerisms and the angst of it. I was looking at some of the other names that were mentioned as potential casting here, and some of them could work, others very much not. But I think Jeffrey Rush is just like, on the whole, enough of an unlikable presence that like it works for the movie
Hmm.
because at no point really in this movie does it feel like that much of a lionization of Peter Sellers. This is as much an interrogation of his career as it is just like a condemnation of Peter Sellers the man. This is not a movie super interested in being nice to Peter Sellers' legacy, really. But yeah, some of those other names that were mentioned, Robin Williams, no, right? Like that would
What?
not. Robin Williams would not have worked.
Oh, I was just like, I thought you said Robin Williams was in this. I was just like, what?
No,
Where?
no. Some of the other people that were considered for the part of Peter
Oh,
Sellers,
but yeah, Robin Williams would not be a good Peter Sellers.
Steve Coogan.
That we'll circle back to him. I have something to say about that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Sacha Baron Cohen, who I do think would have worked if just because both he and Peter Sellers are famous assholes that made their careers on racist caricatures.
I
And
mean, I don't think that would be the worst casting.
no, I think it would work. But the one that would be the worst casting because why? Kevin Spacey.
Mm, nah.
I no, because this is also the same year as him playing Bobby Darin, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I texted you the picture of Jeffrey Rush at the beginning of this movie and saying,
Yes.
"Behold, a 26-year-old man." But Kevin Spacey just like would not, it just wouldn't work. It just like he's all else aside of like why we don't want Kevin Spacey in this, like he is not the same kind of performer as Peter Sellers. There's that just I don't see the vision there. I don't know why that's who you would want for this part. I don't know.
I don't know. But we got the good casting here.
Yes, yeah, I do think it's a very solid performance from Rush.
Okay. Where
Yeah,
else do we? Actually, I'll talk about Steve Coogan now.
yeah,
Uh, just
because
because.
I'm curious where that comes in.
So when I went to London in January, one of the shows that I saw was Doctor Strangelove, which was brought onto the
Oh,
stage
right.
with new rewrites by Armando Iannucci and Steve Coogan playing four different roles, including like the three that Peter Sellers played, and then also the pilot role, which,
Yeah,
as we saw in this movie, I didn't know this was the actual thing, but it's like Sellers was originally cast to also play the main pilot, Major Kong, I think it was his name.
yeah.
Um,
The Slim Pickens.
yeah, Slim Pickett's role, but then he got out of it because he couldn't get the couldn't get the accent right, and like I think he pretended to break his foot.
In real life, he did just sprain his ankle coming out,
Okay.
like either walking out of a cab or just like on set. I've seen conflicting reports, but I like how much they fabricate of the strange love portion of this movie for the sake of it being dramatic, because like famously Kubrick and Sellers got along really well.
Mm,
Uh, because like Kubrick was not someone that worked with actors more than once very often, and Sellers is one of those few. I don't know if this movie ever mentions Lolita in any context, but like Strangelove is not their first collaboration. They got along well enough on the set of Lolita that he put Peter Sellers in his next movie. Like, I do think it's funny how much they fabricated butting heads between Kubrick and Sellers for the sake of the dramatization. But yeah, no, as far as I know, that he did just like for real sprain his ankle.
okay. But yeah, and then so I was just like you saying that Steve Coogan was in contention to play Peter Sellers. It's like, hey, he played the famous Peter Sellers roles. And it's just like he was really good at it too. It's like
Oh,
he was
I would totally buy that. Yeah.
anyway,
That
that's just
that
a aside.
uh yeah, where to go
Th-
from
This
here?
is a hard movie to talk about because so much of it, like it's okay. So first of all, like we briefly talked about this, but this movie goes so quickly. Like it just moves from place to place, scene to scene so quickly. Like you go through the arc of a typical biopic within like the first 20 minutes, where it's like him getting famous, him uh getting married, him being a abusive husband, but then of course most of the movie is just him being a terrible person to everyone in his life. And
Yeah.
it's just like it just feels like it never wants to rest in any one place. It just wants to keep going, 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 going. And it's
Which
which is
like it makes sense when you're making a movie about Peter Sellers that you want to do something more frenetic and fast paced than like a more intimate character study, because
I
it
mean,
is like sort of kind of modeled after a Peter Sellers movie to the loosest degree, but like yeah, it covers a lot of ground. It covers like early 50s to late 70s over the span of 20 minutes, and packs a lot in, and packs a lot of sort of Hollywood lore and cameos, but it does go in on Peter Sellers as a person as much. But yeah, I mean, there's certainly some eye rolly moments here. There's certainly some moments that feel standard by the books biopic, but I do think there are points here that are a bit more interesting than maybe it could have been. I don't know.
like
Is it?
personally, my favorite parts of the movie were when Jeffrey Rush was playing like the other characters in the movie. Like
Yes.
like when after he divorces his first wife, he dresses up as her and then like remakes their breakup where it's like, oh, we're actually gonna like fall in love and whatever.
Yeah,
Everything will
he
be fine.
every time it happens, it'll be like a scene with this other character, and then it cuts to them from behind, and then they turn around, and it's Jeffrey Rush, vaguely as Peter Sellers, as this character, doing direct address to the camera, like doing very uh, uh, sort of ironic praise of Sellers. Like it's all meant to be even more damning of Sellers in those scenes. Like you said, the scene where Emily Watson, goes to leave and then turns around and it's Rush, and he walks into an ADR booth and dubs over the scene where she yells at him and is like, "Oh, Peter, I love you. Let's go. I'm going to go tell Ted that I never want to see him again, and we'll go have the best sex a wife has ever given to a husband," and all this stuff. And he does he do it as Kubrick? Yes, in the car. There's a point where he turns around as Kubrick, but he does Blake Edwards. He does both of his parents. Um, I think there's a scene where he does a doctor as well that was cut out of the movie. But yeah, he's those scenes are the most formally out there that the movie gets as far as breaking from the standard biopic format. But I do think they add some interesting insight into the psyche that they're trying to paint Sellers as a very insecure, very image focused man child that just wants approval, but is also very petty. And I found those to be particularly interesting, even when it is a bit jarring seeing Jeffrey Rush like 3 layers deep doing a John Lithgow impression of a Blake Edwards impression. It's strange, but I think it works.
hmm it definitely does work. Like it, at least those parts of the movie do work for me. They are the most interesting, and also, uh, similar. There's the climactic part of the movie where after his like first heart attack, if I remember correctly, he goes into this dream realm where he sees all his characters he's played, and it's fucking weird, but it's
It's a
good.
weird scene. Also, I do need to correct the record here. That was not after his first heart attack. That was after his first 8 heart attacks.
Okay.
Because they don't mention it, but as Wikipedia puts it, because I did look into that, it's a time when he was having sex with Britt Eklund, and he took poppers to achieve quote the ultimate orgasm. And rather than having the ultimate orgasm, he had 8 heart attacks in the span of 3 hours. So didn't quite work out, but they do put that in the movie. They do put the poppers, they do put the sex, they do put heart attacks, and then later you get a headline when he's burning all the memorabilia. There's a newspaper headline that says like Sellers suffers 8 heart attacks. Uh, Also from Wikipedia, from the section about his health and all that, and I think maybe a different time he had a heart attack and had to be recast in a Billy Wilder movie. Wilder was quoted as saying, "You have to have a heart before you can have an attack." So Peter Sellers not especially liked by his peers, even in his time.
Especially at his time.
Especially in his time, yeah, a notable asshole. Even up by 1960s standards, people did not like Peter Sellers all that much in Hollywood. And I was bracing for this movie to gloss over some of the more, we'll say, thorny aspects of Peter Sellers' personality. And well, it does. Well, the movie never, for example, the movie doesn't approach The Party, we'll say, or
Oh yeah.
uh, Dr. Fu Manchu, or Murder by Death, or any of the many, many racial caricatures that Sellers made as much a career off as Clouseau and Strangelove and all that. Like the
Which,
movie, I mean, not that I want to see Jeffrey Rush doing brownface so that the movie can scold, well, that's bad, Peter Sellers. But
waggles finger. That's
yes,
bad, Peter Sellers. You can't
don't do
do
that.
that.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Peter Sellers.
Uh-uh-uh.
But aside from that, the movie, well, it does sort of hold back some of the particular stories that you'll hear, like the time. What was the context for it? Because there was a fight he had with one of his daughters later on, where she said something, I think, about his movie he had done or something. Not that. Well, okay. Also not that. Uh, oh yes. In March 1980, Sellers asked his 15-year-old daughter Victoria what she thought about being there. She reported later that, quote, "I said yes, I thought it was great, but then I said you looked like a little fat old man. He went mad. He threw his drink over me and told me to get the next plane home. His other daughter, Sarah, told Sellers her thoughts about the incident, and he sent her a telegram that read, 'After what happened this morning with Victoria, I shall be happy if I never hear from you again. I won't tell you what I think of you. It must be obvious. Goodbye, your father.'" So yeah, this movie is well, it doesn't paint him as a good father by any means. It was even worse in real life. it was a time when he woke up his young son in the middle of the night and said, "Do you think I should divorce your mummy?" Or the time when, during an argument with his first wife, he asked his parents, or he asked their kids, "Who do you love more?" Or no, "Who do we love more, me or your mother?" And then got mad when one of them said, "I love both of you," and the other one said, "I love mom." So yeah, they could have gone even further with the Peter Sellers being a bad husband and father, uh, but it
But
doesn't shy away from that.
at the
It
same
doesn't.
time, they hammer it in very well.
Yes, yes, they don't make him out to be a good person by any means, but just let the record show he was even worse.
I was looking into the Billy Wilder movie he couldn't do, and it's just like it was "Kiss Me Stupid." The tagline for it was "It happened in Climax, Nevada," and
There you go.
it, as it's saying, it's Peter Sellers was signed on for the role, and then 6 weeks into filming, he suffered a series of 13 heart attacks and was
Oh,
hospitalized in Cedars of Lebanon Hospital. And then they just reshot all his scenes because they didn't want to wait for him to get better.
with Ray Walston of all people, not someone you think of as being super Peter Sellersy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have not seen that one. I haven't seen a ton of Peter Sellers. I mean, I've seen the big ones. I've seen Strangelove. I don't actually know if I've seen all of the Pink Panther. I know
I
I've seen parts of it.
I think I've only seen the first one.
They're showing it at the cinema here like on Saturday, but I'm not going to be able to go to it because I'm going to be out of town. But we are showing that first one here very soon. But
I I've apparently seen 10 Peter Sellers movies. I've
okay,
seen Strangelove, Lolita being there, the first Pink Panther, The Lady Killers, Murder by Death, Casino Royale, which is a whole mess, What's
I
New
believe it.
Pussycat, Carol for Another Christmas, and Tom Thumb, which I did not know he was in.
Well, there you go. I have seen some of those. Let me pull up because I've seen Strangelove, I've seen Being There, I've seen Murder by Death. Okay, I've seen five. So it's those three and the Lady Killers and okay, so I have logged the Pink Panther, but I think that's maybe erroneous because I don't actually I'm gonna actually mark that not logged, but I have it marked as watched. I'm going to undo that though, because I don't actually think I have seen the Pink Panther. Or maybe I like it was on when I was a kid and I like half fell asleep during it. But when I was scrubbing through part of it for a bumper trailer for this series that we're showing it in, a lot of it did not seem familiar. So I think I think I may have just misremembered that.
Mhm.
Speaking of Peter Sellers and Italian actresses, Sophia Loren in this movie.
Yeah.
Uh, Unfortunately, not a very good performance from the actress playing her. It seemed to be her first English language performance after like not a super long career in Italian film either. It's not like some Italian star crossing over here. But yeah, it's and again, things that this movie paints out to be already pretty bad, and then you go to real life and seems to be worse. Um, or if not worse, different. The thing about waking his kid up and saying, "Should I divorce your mommy?" was about Sophia Loren. Also, the time that Sellers declared his love for Loren in front of his wife, uh, and apparently, the movie seems to be very adamant about the fact that it was just a close friendship that Sellers took too far. But in real life, there is some ambiguity as to whether they had an affair or not. The history books are unclear as to whether they were shacking up or not. But this movie certainly is of the opinion that they were not, and that Sophia Loren, when she realized what was going on, was very faithful to Carlo Ponti and very adamant that get away from me, you little creep.
I mean, I I'm wondering if part of it might be the fact that Sophia Loren was still alive and Peter Sellers was not.
Yes, yes, that's very fair. And also, it makes for good drama in your movie to have Sophia Loren turn him down, because a lot of the sort of thesis around the Sellers character here is that he was lonely and unloved even when he was loved. And to present that in a movie where you're already going in deep on his marriage to Britt Eklund, to also show him having an affair with Sophia Loren, maybe doesn't totally jive with that thesis of being an unloved, unlovable little man baby.
Mhm. Uh, so the thing with this movie is that I did like it. I liked Jeffrey Rush in it, but it's like I just found it so hard to keep my interest in it just because they hammer in how just evil and unlikable Peter Sellers is, but then also turn around to try and make you be like, oh, but he's such a great actor, right? And it's like there are ways to make movies about unlikable people where you're still like interested in like seeing where they go or like could but it's like this film doesn't really balance that well. It just makes me hate him. And then
Yeah,
it's like and it's like okay, so I hate this guy. Why should I still learn about him?
yeah, it doesn't really thread that needle super well of here's a portrait of a complicated man and a complicated artist. It really does just feel like, hey, watch this movie about this shitty fucking asshole, this absolute bastard, this just total son of a bitch. But you guys still like Doctor Strangelove, right?
Mhm.
You guys still like Doctor Strangelove, even though he used that as a coping mechanism to not talk to his mom. And even though he was a dick to everyone, you guys still like the Pink Panther, right? Pink Panther's still pretty good. Being there is still pretty good, right? Right, you guys? Uh, One thing that bothered me more than it should have about the Strangelove sequence is that, like, while so much of this, and this is not in any way an actual fault of the movie, it's just a trivia point that, like, would have been so easy and so simple to do, and they just didn't, is like one of the more, I feel like, sort of notable behind the scenes trivia things of Doctor Strangelove is that the table in the war room set was green because Peter Sellers or because Kubrick wanted it to look like a poker table. Even though the movie was in black and white, he was adamant that that set be green so that it feels like all these world leaders are just playing gambling with the fate of the world. And when we do see the in color behind the scenes footage of that scene, it's just a regular old gray table. Like, how easy would it have been to just do that? It's already super weirdly stylized, where like the hair they have on the wig they have on him when he's Strangelove is like bright yellow. How hard would it have been to do that? And it's not like, you know, immersion breaking or anything, but it is one thing that I know about the production of Doctor Strangelove, and they just didn't do it. I don't know. Again, not an actual issue with the movie, just a thing that I thought was strange that they didn't do, considering how much else they did that was like very winking, in jokey, to the point that like when Kubrick is introduced, they do a whole like Shining riff where he's walking down a hotel hallway with orange and red carpets, and the camera's following him, like following his feet, just like a Danny on the big wheel. It was strange to me, I guess, but like not really. Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Mhm.
Nothing else on that really.
Yeah.
Just a thing I took note of whatever.
I I'm really like grasping at straws for things to talk about this movie already. Like I'm because it's just it's
I,
just him being an asshole for 2 hours.
yeah, I do have some other notes.
Please keep going.
Let's see. I did like the animated opening title sequence to What's New
Yes.
Pussycat. I thought that was very charming and very silly, where you have just like a bunch of comic mishaps. Everyone's got the big Peter Sellers glasses and nose, and it's fun. It's good.
Hmm.
Uh the Goon Show.
I
Uh
did write that down in all caps, the Goon Show.
You messaged me while we were watching this how quickly he becomes extremely famous. Like it's over the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
And you just get a montage then of people in theaters watching like The Lady Killers and That's Me Jack or whatever that's called, and a couple other early Sellers movies
Mhm.
that they
And
they
he
recreate here.
and he wins the BAFTA.
Yes, and apparently there was a cut scene that I think would have actually fit in the movie, and I couldn't find it online. But there's a deleted scene where, oh, what's his name? The other guy from the trip. That's not Steve Coogan from the
Oh,
trip movie.
Rob Brydon.
Yes, Rob Brydon plays Dustin Hoffman, winning the Oscar for Kramer versus Kramer. And, in his speech, he's like, I refuse to believe that this is on merit. I refuse to believe that I beat Peter Sellers for this. And you have a scene of Sellers watching this and rewinding and just playing the part of I beat Peter Sellers over and over and over. And like that's a good scene because it shows that even when he is being respected by his peers, he just sees it as an indictment and as like a blow to his ego. I would have liked to see that scene. They just sort of uh, uh, throw it off to a postscript of he was nominated for the Oscar of being there and he didn't win, and then some other postscript stuff that not quite the end of the movie. Stick around for another like 20 seconds. There's a little bit more.
I did
Um,
not. What
oh,
happened?
you get the whole postscript of like, he died at the age of 56, and he died the day that he was going to write his fourth wife out of his will, while they were in the midst of a divorce. But it didn't work, so she got most of his estate, and he gave his children $2,000 each. And it starts to roll credits, and then it pans out. That's on a TV on a set, like it's the dailies or whatever, and it goes back to like 20 something Sellers
Oh,
on
okay.
a set, and he gets up and he walks into his trailer and he looks to the camera and goes, "You can't come in here," and then he shuts the door, and then it goes to the real credits.
I just forgot about that. I did watch that.
Okay, yes,
I
yeah,
thought okay, never mind.
no, yeah,
Um,
it is not substantial enough of a scene for you to need to remember it, so it's fine. um I don't remember how I got. Oh yes, the BAFTA win. Like I'm kind of surprised, as insular as this movie gets, that the Oscars don't come up at all. Like in the text of the movie, that seems like something that he would have been very insecure about.
yeah,
To the
there's
to
just
the
like
point,
a headline where it's like, oh, he's nominated for three different roles for Doctor
yes,
Strangelove.
yeah. To the point that when he's complaining about not wanting Ustinov sloppy seconds because Ustinov dropped out of the Pink Panther, the point where he sort of like snaps at his agent, I won the fucking British Academy Award. I was expecting them to go, well, Ustinov has an Oscar, so and you have not been nominated, so suck on that, Peter Sellers. But they didn't, and I don't know. What else going through my notes? The scene where he stomps on his kid's toys because his kid paints a stripe on his car was good because, again, it's a solid representation of like, oh, this guy like for real sucks. This
Yeah,
is not there's not really anything redeeming to this guy. That it was a nice scene.
it was the first scene where you find out that he's actually not a nice guy.
And like not even just not a nice guy, like full on evil.
Hmm.
Um oh, Stephen Fry's The Astrologer was solid. I liked how spooky those scenes were when you cut back to his like weird whimsical office that feels like I don't know, some kind of big weird dome. uh, 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 and I did think it was very, very stupid that they do the scene where you have Fry alone in the office being like, okay, there's a big script coming for him for another Pink Panther movie with Blake Edwards. Get him to do it. And so he's like, okay, I got to figure out how to convince Peter Sellers to do another Blake Edwards movie. I know. I'll tell him that he has a big collaboration coming with someone with the initials BE. That's what I'm going to tell him to get him to work with Blake Edwards again. But uh, 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 he's not going to interpret that as Blake Edwards. He's going to use that to get married to Britt Eklund instead. Isn't that silly? Isn't that? I thought that was so stupid. And I saw it coming immediately. As soon as they start saying BE, I was like, if they fucking turn this, if this is how he gets involved with Britt Eklund, I'm going to get so mad. And then and it was very stupid.
I mean, yeah, but
It's
I thought it was kind of funny.
it's it's just too cute. I think it was too cute of a thing. Uh, Likewise, the idea that he is inspired to shave down to a mustache for Clouseau from a matchbook that some guy on an airplane gives him uh, is stupid. And
I
also,
I didn't understand that scene because it's like he talks with the guy and then immediately goes to shave and becomes French. And it's just like,
it's because he's on his way to go film the Pink Panther, and he's been pissy about it. And then his lighter doesn't work when he tries to light his cigarette, and so the guy next to him is like, "Here, use mine," and he hands him a matchbook. And then Sellers looks down at the matchbook and sees that the little cartoon of the man on the matchbook has a mustache, and is like, "Ah, I have inspiration. I know how to play Jacques Clouseau now. I will have a mustache." And then he goes and pretends to be French to I guess, see if the character works on a very annoyed Lucy Punch as the stewardess.
oh, that was Lucy Punch. I didn't even
Yeah,
recognize her.
yeah, that's where she shows up there. Which was a fine scene. I thought it was. It was. I think Rush does a good job with the Clouseau character, which really that's the only scene you get him as him, other than when they do the globe spin shot. I did like the way he embodies him there, but it was silly that they had to do a, you know, Han Solo's last name is Solo because he's flying on his own, he's traveling on his own type thing for here's how Jacques Clouseau got his mustache. Also the scene where cars, they're kind of like women because
Oh
he
my
goes to buy a
God.
car, but
Yes.
instead of cars on the floor show, it's sexy women. Speaking of which, by the way, that whole sequence, the visual effects in this movie to evoke 1960s London streets are very bad.
It's so bad.
And it's like you're grading on a curve because it's HBO and it's 2004, but like we're talking like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow levels of Uncanny Valley streets and shops and cars and people just like on it's bad.
And on a similar note, the makeup, like you can always tell there's makeup on people. And it's like it's I guess it's not technically bad makeup because it's like I imagine it's like it's really good for like what their budget was, but at the same time it's like it's always noticeable.
Yeah,
It's oh
the John Lithgow Blake Edwards wig is bad and also doesn't look like Blake Ed. Like I looked up to see what Blake Edwards would have looked like at this. At no point does Blake Edwards have that like bowl cut and dark sunglasses thing, and that's just how he's stylized the entire movie. Uh, which is wild, similar to Stanley Tucci as Stanley Kubrick, who like I know he didn't have the beard and the thinning hair at that point, but like it doesn't look especially like Stanley Kubrick or feel like Stanley Kubrick at all. It's just Stanley Tucci in a bad wig that they
yeah.
just say is Stanley Kubrick.
I don't understand what was going on with there, but I was happy to just see Stanley Tucci. Like I didn't clock him in the opening credits, so when he showed up, I was just like, Stanley Tucci. It's
Yeah,
Stanley fucking Tucci.
yeah, he is fun in this in his few scenes. I would have liked a bit more of that. Honestly, I think you could make a really interesting like I guess being the Ricardo's style thing just about the production of Doctor Strangelove. Like that's a movie that from what I understand, the behind the scenes of that was wacky enough that like you could make an entire whole sort of onset biopic just about that.
I thought the same thing, except about Casino Royale, because
Oh yes, I want to
that,
know what that. Yeah,
God, the fucking mess that is on screen and behind the scenes of that movie is a sight to behold.
yeah, and some especially bad CGI when they're doing the like road race and the director is sticking his head out the window and yelling at Peter Sellers for walking off set. Like, so at times this movie is hard to look at just because of the very
Hmm.
sort of plasticky look, very like Gushers commercial, just sort of aesthetic to it all. What else do I have in my notes? I do think the Britt Eklund proposal is charming, where he tells her to go turn on the radio and it's not working, and so he tells her to flip a switch so that the curtains on the balcony will open. And then he has a whole like band out there on the balcony doing oh, you make me feel so young, right? Is the song? And then
Yes.
he's lip syncing to that and dancing around with her, and then proposes to her. And I found that to be charming. I do think there are times when the movie will make Peter Sellers be a charming character that work, despite the fact that we've seen him be such an asshole. Like, there are times where you're still like, okay, yeah, he was a very outwardly charming person to a degree, but also not a nice guy. For example, the scene where he's like, "Hey, my wife, how about you fuck this guy so I can go flirt with Sophia Loren?" And then when his wife fucks that guy and Sophia Loren turns him down, he trashes the apartment and gets very mad.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, just there's a lot of shit in this movie. A lot of needle drops, a lot of very strange needle drops. I don't know why there's a David Bowie needle drop in this movie. I don't know why there's I don't know. There's a lot.
There's a lot of needle drops in here, but it's like I was really enjoying them because like you get like Girl from Ipanema in there, you
Yes.
get I completely blanked on every song I heard because I didn't write them down, but it's
Two different Tom Jones. You get What's New
yes.
Pussycat and it's not unusual. Um you do get not a needle drop, but I think it's a cover by Rush and whoever the actress playing Sophia Loren of whatever that novelty song that Loren and Sellers did record together, which is the song that's playing while Sellers is sort of like spitefully fucking her stand-in in the back of his car
Hmm.
because Carlo Ponti came to set and was there with his wife, and so I was like, "Fuck." Well, you're supposed to look like Sophia Loren. Do you want to go fuck me in my car? And then they do. Um,
Yeah, we got Love is a Many Splendid Thing, You Make Me Feel So Young, Fly Me to the Moon, Dream a Little Dream of Me, uh lots of stuff.
songs that you would expect in a 1960s to early 70s
Big
biopic.
Spender, yes.
Oh yeah, Big Spender was a when I feel like that shows up during an important scene, but
It
I can't remember.
does. It's I think it is around the Sophia Loren part.
That sounds right, probably.
Um, but yeah, they
Um,
play fucking Space Oddity.
for no reason. I guess it's supposed to be like, hey, Stanley Kubrick directed 2001: A Space Odyssey. We can just sort of haphazardly reference any number of other Kubrick movies here, right? We can do like a very tiny Clockwork Orange reference. We can do more. I don't know, whatever. We can do Shining references. It's close enough. Um, I do think some of the makeup works. I think the makeup on older Sellers works when he's got the graying hair and he's just sort of like, quote unquote old. He's like 50. But he did age very much in real life. You look at pictures of him from then and he doesn't read as like 52.
Hmm.
Uh, but the scene where he goes back to Emily Watson to be like, hey, should I make being there? And he looks so old and she just has her hair up and otherwise looks exactly like she did an hour and a half ago and like 20 years ago. is uh and also like it's not just that like they don't know how to make the women look old. Like Lithgow also does not age over the course of the movie, even next to Sellers, who does. Nobody else really gets the aging treatment in their makeup and design. They just sort of like, well, this is what Blake Edwards will look like over the course of the movie. But scene to scene, Peter Sellers is just going to get older and older and older and worse and worse and worse.
Hmm.
Um, what
Which on the
else?
one hand you could read as them like not wanting to bother with paying for extra makeup,
Oh, I'm
but
sure it
also
was just that. I'm sure that
also
was it.
yeah.
But yeah, there's what else? What else about the life and death of Peter Sellers? Not a lot of death. That's conscripted to a post. I mean, there's deaths in the movie, both of his parents, and I guess that's really it. But
It's just that it,
the death of Peter Sellers is written away to a postscript.
but I
That
guess it's more a metaphorical death. Like the death,
yeah,
the life of your respect for him as an actor and the death of your respect for him as a person.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I have a game here that we can get
I was
into.
so praying that you had a game.
I do. And it's maybe a long and kind of difficult one, but it has tiers to it, so it will get progressively easier for each question. So aside from both being famously assholes, Jeffrey Rush and Peter Sellers are also both Oscar nominees slash winners. So I have pulled a whole bunch of different Oscar nominees and winners playing Oscar nominees and winners in various movies and television programs. And each of them, I have three questions, not really questions, but to give an example, for Jeffrey Rush as Peter Sellers, your first option is the more difficult one. So uh, uh, I haven't really explained what this is. It's character names over their careers. So the first one's going to be, for example, for Rush and Sellers, Casanova Frankenstein as Hrundi V. Bakshi.
Okay.
And then your
What
second
the
tier,
fuck is Casanova Frankenstein?
that's Jeffrey Rush in Mystery Men.
Okay, I have not seen that movie.
I've seen it once. I went in cases where there weren't like the most notable names. I just went for fun ones. Uh, but then your second tier is going to be Oscar related,
Okay.
not not necessarily characters they won for if they did win. But an example for this: David Helfgott as President Merkin Muffley, and then your third one, if you don't have it by then, is the effectively the easy one. So Captain Hector Barbosa as Inspector Jacques Clouseau.
Okay. I get what the game is after
Yes.
your long explanation.
So your first one is going to be worth 3 points if you can get it off that. Excuse me, off that. Second one, 2 points. Third one, 3 points. Let me get a drink of water real quick,
Yeah.
just because my mouth is getting very dry. And you can edit this out.
I will not edit this out. I'm just gonna keep on talking. Hey, out there in podcast land. Uh if you're listening, please comment what uh
I can hear that you're talking through my headphones. I can't hear what you're saying though, because I don't have them on.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I didn't
Uh,
even get to finish my sentence I was saying because I
I
was making it up on the spot.
okay.
Anyway,
There's a lot of these. Uh, if it gets to a point where you want to tap out of like, don't keep making me do this, we can just save the rest for another time that we do one of these, because a few of these that I have on here are TV movies that we could theoretically cover and do
yeah,
this game again.
we'll do them all now.
Okay. Your first one.
And I'll also keep track of my points.
Yes, thank you. I was going to ask you to, and then I forgot. So thank you for stepping up to the plate there. Okay, your first one, Irina Spalko as Susan Vance.
Oh, as Susan Vance. Okay. Next one.
Jude Quinn as Tracy Lord.
I need to know this. I I know Tracy Lord. Oh, Kate Blanchett as Katharine Hepburn.
Yes, Kate Blanchett is Irina Spalko in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I didn't write down what all of these movies are from, so some of these I straight up don't remember. And I'm also not going to explain what all of them are because we have a lot of questions here and a lot of names. But
But
yes.
for that first one, you said Susan Vance. I assume that was one of the characters from
Oh,
Hillbilly Elegy.
yeah. I don't think anyone has played Amy Adams or Glenn Close in a movie as of yet.
Unfortunately, maybe.
Okay, your next one, Betty Sizemore as Esther Smith.
Esther Smith. Betty Sizemore. What are these names? Okay. Next one.
Ruby Thews as Esther Blodgett.
Oh, it's gonna be Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland?
Yes, it is Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland. Betty Sizemore is from Nurse Betty,
Okay.
which is why I went with that one over, say, I don't know. I can't pull another Bridget Jones character, actually, now that I think about it. Or
Just keep going.
another Renee Zellweger character. Yes, next. Carl Hanratty as the voice of Satan and Cerberus in Hell's Bells.
I know the character Carl Hanratty, but my mind just isn't telling me where that character's from and who played it. And I don't know what Hell's Bells is. Uh, so just keep going.
Fred Rogers as Best Documentary winner for The Vanishing Prairie.
Tom Hanks is Walt Disney.
Yes, Tom. I threw in that first one because I thought it was funny that Walt Disney played Satan and Cerberus in some short or another.
I and I've seen that short. Ugh. Anyway, keep going.
Next one, Daniel Desario as Cal Trask.
I can't even make sense of those. Next one.
Aaron Ralston as Jet Rink.
Aaron Ralston. That's
It's an Oscar-nominated performance
it's this.
by design. By that, that's how the questions work. Um,
Oh, this is James Franco as James Dean?
it is James Franco as James Dean. I only had three James Dean characters to go off, so I just sort of had to put them in whatever order sounded best. But
It was
yes.
Aaron Ralston that gave me it.
Well, there you go. Okay. Next up, Pablo Picasso as man in wheelchair at airport.
Pablo Picasso. I know multiple people who've played Pablo Picasso. And Man in Wheelchair at Airport isn't the most notable thing.
It will be once you put it together. I'll say that.
Um, but yeah, Pablo Picasso. Like the only thing I can think of is I think Ben Kingsley played him at one point, but it's not going to be Ben Kingsley as Mahatma Gandhi. It's going
Yes,
to be
that famous Academy Award nominee Gandhi, the man, not the movie.
keep going.
Anthony Evans as five-time Best Director nominee.
Okay, who played a director before? Oh, is this Anthony Hopkins as Hitchcock?
It is Anthony Hopkins as Hitchcock.
What did
I
he play
want
Picasso?
in Surviving Picasso, the Merchant Ivory movie about hey Pablo Picasso, also a shitty guy
Okay.
in like the late '90s.
Okay.
Your next one, Jacinta Jinx Johnson as Melmendi, Queen of the Ashuba.
Just keep going.
Letitia Musgrove as Carmen Jones.
Oh, Halle Berry as Dorothy Dandridge.
Correct. That
I'm
is
just
Halle
getting
Berry.
all twos.
Yeah, it is sort of how the game is sort of designed because I did not go super easy on the first ones, as is the point. Anyway, Kitty Kane Murder as Regina Giddens.
Next.
Reggie Love as Julie Marsden.
Oh, I should know this. Julie Marsden is a name that I should know from a movie I should know. And what was the first name there?
Reggie Love.
I think this is the first one where I have to go to one.
Okay, Janet Weiss as Baby Jane Hudson.
Okay. Wait, who played Betty Davis in a movie?
for
Oh,
a
it's
TV
it's
show.
not it's fucking Feud. It's Susan Sarandon as Betty Davis.
Yes, correct. Sorry, Frank, listening out there. I did have to mention Feud. Um, I almost just said the name of the actual thing you're trying to guess here for this next one. Okay. Zeffirelli B as Jack Fate.
God, I should know this. I something about Zeffirelli B just like s strikes a chord inside my brain, but I can't pull it. So next one.
Ilio Perlman as a Best Original Song winner of the 2000s.
Oh my God, it's fucking Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan.
It is Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. Zeffirelli B is from The French Dispatch.
Yes.
And Jack Fate, I think, is from uh, what's that movie? Is it Masked and Anonymous? I think. If not that, it's like the I don't know. It's one of the movies that Bob Dylan is in as an actor, just for the sake of it. Okay. Mason Verger as the producer of Monkey Business.
Mason Verger as the producer of Monkey Business. Next one.
George Smiley as co-writer of The Pride of the Yankees.
George Smiley. Who the fuck is that? I know this. This feels like an old Hollywood actor, but at the same time, it's like I think I have to go to one.
Winston Churchill as co-writer of Citizen Kane.
Fucking Mank.
It's
Oh,
Mank, baby. You
it's
just got manked, bitch.
Gary Oldman is Mank
You
from the
just got
movie Mank.
you just got hashtag manked. Okay, next up. Elizabeth Frankenstein as Pearl Slaghoople.
Elizabeth Frankenstein. Um, what was the second name there?
Pearl Slaghoople.
Fuck, I feel like I should be able to get this on, but my brain keeps blinking on me. My brain is being useless today. Next one.
Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother as Maggie the Cat Pollitt.
I so Elizabeth Taylor is the person there, but it's like is the second one or has is it Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes, it is Elizabeth Taylor.
Okay,
No one
but
else has been Oscar nominated for playing Maggie the Cat.
uh, but
So
then
who's
who?
been Oscar nominated for playing Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother?
But who? I'm trying to think like who the fu Oh, it's Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter, yes, as Elizabeth Taylor in some TV movie.
Yeah, wait. The thing is, I was just thinking about like I went back to our Liz and Dick notes, and one of the questions I had asked you was about Helena Bonham Carter as Liz Taylor.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, and so it's like I had that fresh on my mind.
Yes. By the way, this is not a comprehensive list. Like I didn't include like Marcia Gay Harden plays. Wait, never mind. I did. Whoops. There was another one I cut. Never mind. Ignore that. No, it was Jill Clayburgh as Carol Lombard was the one that I had in here and then cut because I couldn't find enough good names. But next up, Hal as Robert Rich.
How is Robert Rich? Keep going. Next one.
Redacted because Oscar nominated for playing this person and only for playing this person, their only Oscar nomination, as the writer of Kitty Foyle.
Okay. This is God. I I know like Kristoff is probably out there screaming the name, but I need to go to one.
Walter White as the screenwriter of Roman Holiday.
God damn it.
You just got trumboed, bitch.
Got fucking trombone.
Robert Rich, by the way, is was the pen name that Trumbo wrote.
I
Uh,
I should have
Not
fucking known
Roman
that.
Holiday, but the other one that he was the Oh God, what's the other one that he got the secret Oscar for?
Uh, Spartacus? No.
No, because that the whole thing with Spartacus is
Oh,
that
the
he was
Brave one.
credited. The
The
Brave one,
Brave one.
yes. Robert Rich is the pseudonym he used on the Brave one. Was my cheeky little thing I did there. Okay. Paul Avery as Henri Verdoux.
Paul Avery. Uh, Paul Avery. Henri Verdieu. Next one.
Louis Strauss as Adenoid Hinkle.
Robert Downey Jr. is Charlie Chaplin.
Yes, Robert Downey Jr. as Charlie Chaplin. The easiest third tier on the list. Tony Stark as the Little Tramp. Just doesn't get much easier than that. Okay, next one. Guy Fleegman as the Snake.
Next.
Officer Jason Dixon as three-time Best Director nominee of the 1970s.
Huh? Officer Jason Dixon. This has to be an Oscar nominated role. And you said 1960s?
70s.
70s. Oh, it's Sam Rockwell as Bob Fosse.
It is Sam Rockwell as Bob Fosse. Bob Fosse as the Snake in The Little Prince.
Yes, I he Bob Fosse's in my personal acting nominees for that
Yeah,
role.
we were just talking about that last week.
Mhm.
Guy Fleegman, by the way, Sam Rockwell in Galaxy Quest.
I should have
Uh,
known that. God damn
he's
it.
he's so good in that movie. Genuinely would have given him an Oscar nomination for it.
I
It's
I need to be better at this. I feel like I keep on missing these ones I should have gotten in three or in
uh,
the for 3 points.
okay. Let's see what's up next. Romy Mathis as Frances Stevens.
Oh, wait. Romy Mathis is Francis Steve. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the movie Francis. Never mind. Keep going.
Satine as Georgie Elgin or Elgin.
So that's Nicole Kidman as who? Oh, is it Lucille Ball?
No, it's not Lucille Ball. Not
But
an
it is
Oscar
Nicole
nominee.
Kidman
It is Nicole Kidman.
as who else has she been nominated for playing?
She wasn't
Oh,
necessarily nominated for playing this person. Just
oh, she just
she
played an
she
Oscar
played her.
nominee
Yes.
at one point. Um, well, who the fuck else has she played? Because it's not fucking Virginia Woolf. I know that much.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a movie that we could eventually do on this show, even though it didn't begin its life as a TV movie.
huh? What were the names you said for the second person so far?
Frances Stevens and Georgie Elgin or Elgin.
God, I don't want to go to the next one because I already have Nicole Kidman, but I just don't know who she's played. Who the fuck has she played? What actors has she played?
I would not
Aside,
be surprised if you're unaware of this movie and its existence.
I guess I have to go 2.5 for this one because I need the third name for the second person.
Yes. Lisa Carol Fremont.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, not necessarily an actress that has the most iconic character names, maybe because she didn't have a super long career, though not for the reason you might be thinking.
Fucking Grace Kelly, Grace of
Yes,
Monaco.
Grace of Monaco.
Oh my God.
Nicole Kidman as Grace, which
I
by the
got
way, the
I got fucking Monacoed.
yeah, the reason I pulled Romy Mathis as the name for the first one is because that's her name in Baby Girl, and I did not remember that they named her Romy Mathis, which is not a name that at all feels like a Nicole Kidman character. That's wild.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Next one.
next up, Gus the bartender as the director of films such as Flesh, Wild Women, Sex Hygiene, and Chesty: A Tribute to a Legend.
Did David Lynch play a director at some point?
Perhaps.
Because I'm pretty sure Gus the bartender is his character on the Cleveland show.
Perhaps.
Oh, it's John Ford in The
Yes.
Fabelmans.
David Lynch as John Ford, the other one you've gotten in three so far. Hell yeah.
The only one I've gotten in three is the one that references the fucking Cleveland show.
Yeah, That was an intentional misdirect on those because those don't sound like John Ford movies. Flesh, Wild Women, Sex Hygiene, and his last film, Chesty: A Tribute to a Legend, which is about a war hero whose nickname was Chesty, but doesn't sound like it based on that title.
Hmm.
Okay. Next up, Laura Mars as Flamchen. Flamchen. I don't.
Flemschen.
Flamchen.
It's fucking Joan Crawford. Is this Jessica Lange's Joan Crawford, or
It is not Jessica. It's
Is it
Faye
Faye
Dunaway.
Dunaway's Joan Crawford?
It is Faye Dunaway from Eyes of Laura Mars as Joan Crawford. Okay, you got another one in three. There you go.
Hell yeah, I'm on a roll.
Hell yeah. Dr. Arliss Lovelace as Zeus.
Okay, so it's not Rip Torn as Zeus. It's,
I don't know where you're getting that from.
but it's just like Rip Torn played Zeus in Hercules animated movie.
Yes.
Uh, so who else has played Zeus? I don't think that's gonna help me. What was the first name you said?
Dr. Arliss Lovelace.
That also should be something I know, but I'm gonna keep going.
King Henry V as King Henry V.
So it's fucking Kenneth Branagh as Laurence Olivier.
It is Kenneth Branagh as Laurence Olivier.
When did Laurence Olivier play Zeus?
In Clash of the Titans.
And is Dr. Arliss Lovelace the guy from Wild Wild West?
It is the giant Spider-Man from Wild Wild West.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, okay. Grace Trevelyan Gray as Venus.
Grace Trevelyan Gray as Venus. I know there's a movie character named Alex Trevelyan, I think, but I don't
Yes,
know
that's
what.
that's Sean Bean in Goldeneye. Unrelated.
Okay, then let's just keep going.
Lee Krasner as Eloise Honeybear Kelly.
This is Marcia Gay Harden
Yes.
as somebody. Who is Marcia Gay Harden playing in something? Like
Who indeed?
what Oscar nominee did she play? Because it wasn't in either of her Oscar nominated performances.
It
Because
is
again, you mentioned Lee Krasner already.
yes. Uh it's in a mini series that in a previous episode we talked about how we can't do it on the show because it's a mini series that is too long. But in direct relation to the movie we were covering.
Ooh, I don't remember this, but I'm this might be cheating, but I'm just gonna look through our episodes to see if anything might ring a bell.
Yeah, might as well. I will say the person that she's playing here was not in the movie that we talked about, I don't think. Uh, but is in that miniseries.
Oh, does she play Shirley MacLaine?
No, but you're on
Dang,
the right track.
because like I didn't remember an exact conversation, but it felt like something that came up during the Rat Pack.
Yes, it is. She is in. We're talking about the Sinatra miniseries here, but not Shirley MacLaine.
Fucking what were the names you said for the second person?
Venus and Eloise Honeybear Kelly.
Ava Gardner?
Ava Gardner. Yes.
Huh, that's
Uh,
interesting casting.
yeah, I'm curious how that works out. Venus from A Touch of Venus, I think, right? The Where she plays the statue
E
of Venus that comes to life.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, Ava Gardner again. One that there weren't a ton of like iconic names. I had to go to Maxine Falk for the third one, which I think is The Killers, which is an iconic role, but not necessarily a character name.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Would not have known it.
yeah. Three more here. Your next one. Old Sophie as Synovia Ma Boggs.
Old Sophie. Sanofia Ma Boggs. I shouldn't. These names are ringing in my head. And it's just like there's something. I keep saying this, but there's just something there, and it's like I want to be able to pull it out, but it's like I can't reach in and grab it. Uh, say the names one more time.
Old Sophie, or how about the voice of Old Sophie as Synovia Ma Boggs?
It is it's Howl's Moving Castle. It's Gene Simmons
Yes.
But who did she play that was also like an Oscar nominee?
This is a movie I had heard of, but I didn't realize it was a uh, an autobiography of this particular actress.
Mox.
For 2.5 points, I can give you the Oscar name for the other person.
Ugh. I want to like just quickly DM Emily, just be like, hey, when did Gene
Yeah.
Simmons play an Oscar nominee? Uh, but I think I have to go to the second name.
I'll give you the half point in between because you got Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Minnie Castevet.
Mini cast. I should know that.
It's an
Oh,
Oscar winning role.
it's fucking wait, Oscar winning.
Yeah.
I was about to say Jenna Rollins, but no.
No, that's
Uh,
what is her name in that?
I just know it's from Minnie and Moskowitz.
Oh yeah, but no, that's not a an Oscar nominated
Yeah,
role.
I I don't know. Um, Mini Castevet. What is that?
An Oscar winning role that perhaps people are bringing up this year in relation to someone else who has an outside shot at maybe cracking the Oscar race for a particular type and genre of character.
It's she played Ruth Gordon?
Yes, in The Actress, the Spencer Tracy movie, The
Oh,
Actress.
that
That
makes
is
sense.
apparently
Okay.
a Ruth Gordon autobiography, written by Ruth Gordon as well.
That's
Uh,
cool.
yeah, I didn't realize that's what that movie was until I was doing research on this and looking up Hollywood biopics. Okay, two more. And these are both sort of like we're having fun with it here
By
ones.
the
Okay.
way, I completely stopped keeping track of my score because I lost track of where
I
we were.
figured as much. It's fine. Malcolm Tucker as the interviewer.
Malcolm Tucker as the interviewer. Malcolm Tucker should be a name I know.
A
It's
TV character, primarily, although there was also a movie.
maybe I don't know it then.
Okay.
Uh, let's keep going.
1993 Best Live Action Short Film winner as 1970 Best Original Song Score winner.
1993 Best Live Action Short Film winner. Because 94 was Pete. Is this Peter? It's not Peter Capaldi.
It is.
It that was 93. I thought for sure it was 94.
Maybe it was, and I wrote it down wrong,
Okay.
but I
Um,
think it was 93.
and you said best original song winner,
Original Song Score winner of 1970.
1970. Okay, so he's not playing Shaft. It's 1970 song score. Is he playing Burt Bacharach?
No.
No.
I'll give you for the 1.5 points if you were keeping score. The obvious name for the last one,
I'm I'm still thinking.
but even then, it's not quite as obvious.
I don't want to give up just yet. Um, I what the fuck won the score categories in 1970? What was even a thing in
Song
1970?
score, not score.
Oh,
Song
it
score.
I know. It's I know there's the two categories. It's a whole fucking mess because they were fucking stupid back then.
Just saying,
Um,
this is not a movie that would have won Best Original Score.
oh, it's all could be like adaptation score also. It's like it would be fucking like eh, I've stopped caring. Give me the next one.
Okay, the 12th Doctor as a beetle.
Which Beatle did he fucking play?
It was in a TV movie, one that I optioned us that we could have done as our biopic last month.
Paul
Would have
McCartney, John
no,
Lennon,
no,
George Harrison.
yes,
There we go.
yes. Peter Capaldi as George Harrison, both Oscar winners. There you go.
Yes.
Your last one, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as F.W. Murnau.
Okay. Oh my God, it's John Malkovich, just John Malkovich.
It's John Malkovich as John Malkovich, baby. My obvious names one was John Malkovich as John Malkovich because he plays enough different John Malkoviches in that movie that it counts.
But yeah, it's just like the only person I could think of as playing F.W. Murnau was John Malkovich, and it's just like, well, John Malkovich did play himself famously, so it's like, we'll try
Yeah,
that.
there you
What
go.
did he play Jekyll and Hyde?
And Mary Riley,
Oh,
Julia
that movie.
Roberts as his Irish maid.
Weird.
Weird. You know what else is weird?
The fact that I'm ending this episode right now.
No, because there's more I got to talk about.
Okay.
Life and Death of Peter Sellers. 16 Emmy nominations, 9 Emmy wins. Did not win Outstanding Made for TV Movie.
Yeah, I did look that up because I knew it won a lot of Emmys. It lost to fucking like Warm Springs, which is
Yes.
fucking what's his face as
Branagh as FDR, Cynthia Nixon as Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah,
what the fuck is up with that?
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it holds the record, at least at the time, I assume probably still true. The most Emmys won by a TV movie that didn't win best TV movie. It is The Cabaret of this category.
Mhm.
Uh, Nominated, like you said, for made for TV movie, lost to Warm Springs. Won for directing, for lead actor for Jeffrey Rush. Nominated for supporting actress for Charlize Theron. Lost to Jane Alexander for Warm Springs. We didn't really talk about Theron. I think she's good. She's fine as Britt Eklund. It's not a character that is asked super much of, but she's good in it. One for best writing, cinematography, single camera editing, sound editing. Nominated for single camera sound mixing, which it lost to, say it with me now, Warm Springs.
Of course.
Nominated for costumes, which it lost to, say it with me now, The
Warm
Lost
Springs.
Prince. It won best hairstyling, best prosthetic makeup in general, not just for a TV movie, but for a series, limited series or TV movie. Nominated for best art direction, which it lost to, say it with me now, a
Warm
tie between
Springs.
Warm Springs and The Lost Prince. Won best visual effects, which no. Nominated for best casting, which it lost to, say it with me now, Lackawanna Blues. And nominated for best main title design in general, not just for a TV movie, but for anything, which it lost to, say it with me now, Huff, the TV show where Hank Azaria plays a therapist who his life goes out of control when a teenage gay patient kills himself in his office. But it seems like an interesting kind of show for 2 seasons. You have a young Anton Yelchin plays his son. Um, a lot of notable people either in the main cast or as recurring roles. Let me pull that back up because it's let's see. Main cast includes Hank Azaria, Paget Brewster, Oliver Platt, Blythe Danner, Anton Yelchin. Recurring cast members including Robert Forster, Susie Kurtz, Annie Potts, Laura Flynn Boyle, January Jones, Tom Skerritt, Angelica Houston, and Sharon Stone.
Oh, it
Uh,
won an Emmy for two Emmys actually. Blythe Danner won two Emmys for this show.
oh, well, there you go. That's cool.
Good for her.
Uh, oh, and you can tell this was a TV show that was on Showtime because some of the episode titles say fuck in them. You have That Fucking Cabin and Crazy Nuts and All Fucked Up and Lipstick on Your Panties. There you go.
Seems like a
Uh,
fun show.
yeah, is not a comedy, despite some of that. I mean, you know, I don't know. But yeah, it was a
It is a
Showtime
lot of
show.
comedic actors in here.
A lot of comedic actors, including Hank Azaria. But the premise doesn't especially seem like it's a comedic, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to watch some Huff, stylized as all caps Huff exclamation point.
Hmm. And also the guy who won for or was nominated for it got an Emmy for main title theme music, and the guy's name is W.G. Snuffy Walden, which I thought is a
Oh
funny
yeah,
name.
I didn't write that down, but I did notice that as well. Um, It's also a Golden Globes. It won Best Miniseries or TV Movie and Best Actor in a Miniseries or TV Movie, and two Supporting Actress General nominations for Theron and Watson. Rush won the SAG. Theron was nominated. It was a DGA nominee for directing for a TV movie or miniseries, and so on and so forth. Uh, by far the most Emmys nominations we've talked about for something
Definitely.
so far, right? I mean, yeah, 16 nominations. That's got to be in the top in general.
Like, I don't think we've talked about anything that has like been nominated as many as this is one.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's probably true. Um, okay, most nominations for a television movie. Uh, the most wins for, oh no, that's something else. Okay, most nominations for a TV movie. So this is one below the record. This had 16 nominations, and there are four that had 17. It's Grey Gardens, the Drew Barrymore, Jessica Lange, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, Eleanor and Franklin, and Eleanor and Franklin: The White House Years. So this is one nomination shy of the all-time record for most nominations for a TV movie. So
Mhm.
yeah, we have not talked about a movie with more nominations than this because there's only four. We should do Grey Gardens soon.
I mean, it's on my priority list, I think.
That's fair. Yeah, we gotta get to that one. Um, does it have a most wins for a TV movie? Let's see. It doesn't say. Okay, excuse me. It does say what has won the most times for best TV movie, which is Black Mirror, which doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird thing to have that because it's like
I mean,
they
you look at some of the in this year that we're talking about, some of these TV, movie, or miniseries specific categories include just an episode of The British Office that they just submitted as a
oh yeah,
movie.
the Christmas special I saw that was co-nominated.
But it was like the Christmas special part one of three. So it was like not even its own movie. It was an ongoing part of a thing. I don't know. It was silly. Anyway, anyway. What else?
How shall we end this episode? Because I feel like there's nothing else.
Yeah, I don't even have a clever thing. I don't have a joke. I can't. I'm not going to do Mein Führer I Can Walk because that would I'm not going to shout that in my apartment at noon where I have neighbors that will hear that. And I can't think of another Peter Sellers reference that's a good cap to the episode. So you say something, please.
But da da but da da Is this picking up on Mike?
It is, yeah.
Okay.